Hi everybody, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the light bringers, and the soulpreneurs of this world to live their most magical life. And speaking of magical, today we're going to be talking about tarot cards and oracle cards and how do we choose them. And the reason that I'm talking about this today is I have a class coming up on Friday the 24th, and this is going to be available for my local friends here at the Starlight Room, or it's going to be available online, and I have a couple of options available for you online. Number one is via a Facebook group that I will add you to so that you can participate in the live stream, or I also will have the replay link available to send to you afterwards if you don't happen to be on Facebook. So we have a few options for you there for all of the people that I work with, whether it's here locally or wherever you are, and we are going to be learning how to pull a daily card for yourself. How do you just tune in, tap into your intuition every single day and pull a card for yourself so that you can get your messages every single day. It really is a pretty simple process, but I'm going to be covering all the basics to get you started with your tarot or oracle journey. So today I've had a couple of people ask me now who are preparing actually for the class, how do I choose my oracle deck? So I want to talk a little bit about that and how you can choose, because it's actually, again, a pretty simple process, but I think that sometimes people tend to overthink the process. So first thing I want to talk about is the difference between tarot and oracle. Hi Erin, I'm actually on here to answer your question for you about how do I choose the deck. So thanks for asking. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is tarot. Okay, so tarot is, and this is an example, this is my favorite tarot deck that I have. This is kind of my go-to deck. And tarot decks tend to be pretty standard in that they are usually 78 cards, and they have the 4 suits, and they have 22 major arcana, and they have the minor arcana, and so they're made up of some pretty regular components. And tarot cards are, in my opinion, when you're just getting started, a little bit more complicated, a little bit more challenging to connect with, and it doesn't mean that you can't. And I am going to be teaching some things in the class that will make reading tarot easier for you, that will make getting started with tarot easier for you. So don't be intimidated by the tarot deck if you find yourself more drawn to it. But there do tend to be more cards. Like I said, there's 78 cards in the deck, and there tend to be specific standards connected with the tarot cards. Now, the difference is then we have the oracle deck, okay? And oracle decks there really is no basic structure for oracle decks. They are a little bit of everything. They are, some decks are 22 cards, some decks are 56 cards, it's all over the place. So there's not any one particular format for oracle cards, and they vary so much. So with the oracle cards, there's not necessarily specific themes or specific cards like there are in tarot decks. There's really, whoever is creating them has total creative freedom to create the cards in whatever way they want. So I'll show you some examples. So these are some of the examples from I think this is my fairy deck, okay? So family harmony, letting go, that kind of stuff, right? And these are just really great because one of the things that I really like about oracle decks is a lot of times they tend to have words on them, okay? And so for those of you that are just getting started, that can be really helpful. If you pull a family harmony card, it's pretty easy to connect and attach some kind of a meaning with that. Whereas, when you're just getting started, if you pull, this is a tarot card, the 4 of Cups, that maybe is a little more difficult to attach some kind of a meaning to that. So sometimes I find that the oracle decks, especially the oracle decks with words on them, or sometimes there's even more. Let me find another one that has a little bit more. So this is one of my angel decks, and this one has a little bit more written on it. Okay, so some of them have even more information written on them. So they really vary so much. But what you want to do when you are choosing a tarot or oracle deck is choose from your intuition. So there isn't necessarily a great deck that I'm like, everybody needs this deck, this is the right deck for you, because every deck has a different energy, and we all have different energies. And what we want to do is find a deck that matches energetically to us. And so one of the ways that we do that is by feeling it out, by checking out different decks and just finding what decks do we find ourselves drawn to. So I do recommend that when you are choosing your first deck especially, that you do that in person if possible. Wherever it is that you buy tarot cards, wherever it is that you buy oracle cards, checking them out, holding them in your hand, feeling them out, looking at the designs, seeing what they look like, seeing if you feel pulled to any one particular deck, that kind of thing, because we want it to be an energetic match. Because what happens is sometimes we will buy a deck and it's not an energetic match, and then you're going to just find yourself not feeling called to use it. It'll kind of just, gather dust probably, because it's just not an energetic match for you. It's not the right fit for you. I have found too that when people are choosing their decks, a lot of times they'll find something that just really resonates with them or really connects with them. So for example, I had somebody who was in one of my tarot classes that I taught before who really was into like plants and gardening, and she found a particular deck that was all about, that included all kinds of plants and flowers and things like that. So that really resonated with her. It really connected to her. So there are so many different variations. There are so many different decks. And so you're going to just want to keep feeling that out until you find a deck that resonates and connects with you. Now, sometimes, because it is harder sometimes to find them in person or to have as much variety in person, you can choose them online as well. So if you're shopping online, again, you want to just try to do your very best to feel it out, to feel, how does this deck feel for me? Does this feel like it connects? Does this feel like a deck that I would really want to be using? And sometimes it's really hard to tell. Every once in a while, I will order a deck online and I will get it, and the energy doesn't feel right. It's not a deck that I'm going to use. So that is a risk that you are taking if you're ordering it online, but sometimes we can try to feel that out as we're searching and as we're shopping online. So I hope that helps for you guys. I hope that helps you to get your decks ready so that we can get started as we are doing the class on the 24th. If you haven't registered yet for that class, I do need pre-registration for that so we can plan for you. So that is coming up on Friday the 24th, and you can register right on my website at discoveryawakening.com. You'll see an in-person option and you will see an online option. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care.